everyone, thanks for stopping by. A playoff game to remember so far for Tampa Bay Rays fans everywhere. It's not over yet, Brandon, but so far it's looking real good.
Looking pretty good. Right now the Rays are leading the A's 5-1 in the ninth, and the game was dominated by the Rays early on. All the problems against the lefties we saw this season didn't show up here tonight.
Brandon, we talked about it earlier on ABC Action News at 6. The surprise for the Rays lineup, Kevin Cash going with Yandy Diaz as his leadoff man.
And we like that, what we saw actually. John, he missed nearly 80 games with that foot injury. He came back in Toronto last weekend. Tonight, his second game back, and clearly Cash knew something that we didn't. Yandy just launching one with the juice here to start us off in the first. A solo shot gets us rolling, and we're in business. It's 1-0 Rays on top at that point.
Well, Brandon, Yandy Diaz not done. He's the first player in the last 10 postseasons to hit multiple opposite field home runs in a game. The offense just getting started second inning. That's Avisail Garcia jacks this off the Holy Toledo sign in straightaway center. 2 home runs in 2 innings for the Rays. Brandon, the boys and Yandy Diaz still not done.
No, the smoke show would continue in the third from Diaz. Same direction. Gives them the same results. Another one launched. The Rays leading 4-0 after 2 homers from Yandy there. Just owning Manaea here. All spring training, we talked about the big bat from Diaz. Kevin Cash watching it pay off big early against the A's, and he'll take it.
Talked about earlier, it's a pretty simple swing, simple approach, but he's making us look a lot smarter than we probably are right now. He's locked in at the plate, and if we got that bat against these tough left-handers, why not use it?
Now, if the long ball continues to work, you might as well use it again. This time it's Tommy Pham. He struggled a lot, but pays off here over the plate for him, and he adds another one. That's the Rays' 4th homer in the game. The Rays just taking advantage of this Oakland pitching staff and taking whatever they'll give them. Pham, Garcia, and Diaz all at full tilt for Kevin Cash. The Rays leading 5-1 over the A's at this point.
4 home runs, a Rays record in a postseason. Now you can't have good offense without some good pitching on the mound. That's where Charlie Morton comes into place. Morton didn't go the distance, but with this hold off in his line, so far so good. 5 innings, only allowing 1 hit, 4 strikeouts, more than enough. Like we keep saying, so far they're leading 5-1 right now in the bottom of the ninth. The Rays are 1 out away from advancing the division series against the Astros. Now, if they do hang on, they'll see the #1 seeded, the juggernaut, the Houston Astros, coming up here later this week. And Brandon, definitely a David versus Goliath matchup if they can hang on for the win.
That's right. Of course, if you look at the Astros, they can do pretty much anything on offense, but you definitely have to pay attention to their triplets in Verlander, Cole, and Greinke. Now, the Rays have fared well against Houston in the regular season, but facing this 3-headed monster would be a little difficult. And the Rays will need a similar performance tonight in Houston on Friday.
Now, this Astros team did win 107 games in the regular season, and I know that was that then, and then this is now the postseason, completely different seasons, so to speak, but it just goes to show how dominant they were during the regular season.
Now, we haven't seen a team like this with a balance of offense, as we just said, in the pitching staff, of course, with Verlander, of course, possibly playing in Game 1. I highly doubt he won't. And Garrett Cole in Game 2. And actually, the Rays winning this one 5-1. We're just getting notice of that 5-1 final. So they will play the Astros on Friday, advancing in the playoffs.
Yeah, you love how we planned this? Look at this.
Yeah,
just for
perfect.
fun. Let's see how these 2 teams fared in the regular season. Another team from the AL West, but we keep saying absolutely loaded team when it comes to the offensive pitching. Rays and Astros played each other a few times, Rays winning 4 of the 7 games in those 2 series.
Now, if you remember, the Rays actually opened the season at the Trop against Houston. That's where they got 3 of those wins, and we all know about the Astros rotation. These 3 guys, they won't be easy, but this apparently way this pitching staff and this rotation works against Houston, it'll be a tough battle. Outscore the Rays 40-27 in those 7 games, but you just never know.
And with Charlie Morton pitching, you've got to think the Rays would probably go with the Blake Snell for Game 1, Tyler Glasnow for Game 2. At least we would think that's what would happen.
And we see actually the bullpen tonight paying off. They didn't have to go to Blake Snell, so that's good news as well.
Game 1 coming up on Friday. We'll be talking about all week long. Until then, we're back after this final timeout.